What made Norway so rich? We all know that Norway is one of the most expensive countries out there and one of the most recent to become one. But did you know that once it was the poorest country among the three Scandinavians? So what made it so rich? Curious? Want to know the secrets which helped Norway become so wealthy? Then stay with us till the end of this video. Hey everyone, welcome back to Countries Economies Explained, and make sure to like and subscribe. That being said, let's begin. Now, frankly speaking, oil and natural gas has been playing a key role in developing a nation's economy since its beginning. One of the prime examples is Dubai. Dubai is now in the top 5 charts of the wealthiest countries in the world just because of its abundant supply of oil. Therefore, just like this, Norway's potential also reached its peak when they started proper usage of their petroleum industries. In May 1963, Norway asserted its sovereign rights over natural resources in its sector of the North Sea. Exploration started on 19th July 1966, when Ocean Traveler drilled its first well. Oil was first encountered at the Balder oil field at the flank of the Utsira High, about 190 kilometers west of Stavanger, in 1967. Initial exploration was fruitless until Ocean Viking found oil on 21st August 1969. By the end of 1969, it was clear that there were large oil and gas reserves in the Northern Sea. The first oil field was Ekofisk, and that location alone produced 427,442 barrels of crude oil in 1980. Since then, natural gas reserves have also been discovered in that area. In the light of the Norwegian referendum to leave the European Union, Ola Skjækbræk, head of the Norwegian Ministry of Industry, moved swiftly to set up a national energy policy. Norway decided not to be a member of OPEC, to maintain its own energy prices in line with world markets, and to spend the money known as the currency gift wisely. The Norwegian government established its own oil company, Statoil, and awarded drilling and production rights to Norsk Hydro and the newly formed Saga Petroleum. Petroleum exports are taxed at a marginal rate of 78%. These companies are subjected to both ordinary petroleum tax at the rate of 27%, and an additional special tax of 51%. Technology presented many challenges for production and exploration in the North Sea, and Norwegian companies invested in building capabilities to cope with these challenges. Out of the ruins of the largely lost shipbuilding industry, a number of engineering and construction companies emerged, creating centers of competence in Stavanger and the suburbs of Oslo. Stavanger also became the land-based staging area for the offshore drilling industry. Presently, the North Sea is past its peak oil production. Norway's large areas of the Norwegian Sea and the Barents Sea have discovered and developed new oil and gas fields. So this is how the glorious history of the Norwegian economy was made by the petroleum industries. Now next comes the hydropower industries, which can also be called the backbone of the Norwegian power and economy system. Modern Norway was built and industrialized when we started to utilize rivers and waterfalls to produce electricity. Hydropower is still the backbone of the Norwegian power system, and will remain so in the foreseeable future. Abundant access to clean and renewable energy puts Norway in a unique position, compared to most other countries in the world. Pioneers in both the business sector as well as politics saw the potential in using hydroelectric power for industrial purposes. One pioneer industrialist was Sam Eide, who secured the rights to build the power plants in Telemark County in the late 19th century. The goal was to convert the enormous forces in the water to cheap electricity for industrial production. The result was the establishment of prominent Norwegian industries, such as Norsk Hydro and Elkem. On the political front, Gunnar Knudsen, the former prime minister, wrote to the parliament a letter in 1892 describing hydroelectricity's industrial potential. Having done so, he initiated a significant long-term political campaign to secure the Norwegian state's role in the country's ongoing electrification and ensure that the hydropower resources would benefit the nation as a whole. The state, counties, and municipalities today own 90% of the production capacity for electricity. The very first hydropower plant owned by a municipality came into production in 1891 in the northern town of Hammerfest. Hammerfest, located way north of the Arctic Circle, became the first town in Norway with electric street lighting. Oslo followed shortly afterwards, with electric street lighting and electric public rail transportation in the decade following 1890. In 1900, Hammeren Power Station in Meridalen, outside Oslo, was built to produce electricity and serve the city's demands. This is the oldest operating power plant in Norway today, At the opening of Hammeren, it was declared that Oslo was secured power forever. Modernity and progress became architectural symbols in Norway with the building of new power plants. Vemork power plant, located near Rjukan, began producing power in 1911. At the time, Vemork was the largest hydroelectric power station not only in Europe but the entire world. On the western coast of Norway, the proximity of hydropower resources also played a key role in the establishment of energy-intensive industries, such as Odda and Glomfjord. Norway could take advantage of clean, renewable energy in its industrial development, whereas other places in the world relied largely on coal and oil. In many ways, the utilization of our hydropower resources became the gateway to modern, industrialized Norway, but it also represents continuity into the future. More than 100 years after the first hydroelectric power plant was built in Norway, nearly all the electricity production is based on hydropower, along with oil and gas technology. Norwegian hydropower technology is in the forefront globally. Norwegian companies today export such technology to a number of countries. They also contribute with development of expertise in countries with hydropower resources. The country is currently the sixth largest hydropower producer in the world and the biggest in Europe. More than 100 years ago, hydropower resources helped Germany develop industry, create wealth, and provide light and heating. With the right resource management, they are laying the groundwork so that these resources can benefit future generations. So what do you think about them? Truly awesome. Calling them the backbone is worth it, don't you agree? But how can we tell that Norway has made progress and has gotten rich? For this, we have to look into the past and compare it with their current standings. Norway's economy was hit hard during the Depression from the mid-1870s to the early 1890s. GDP stagnated, particularly during the 1880s, and prices fell until 1896. This stagnation is mirrored in the large-scale emigration from Norway to North America in the 1880s. At its peak in 1882, as many as 28,804 citizens, or 1.5% of their population, back then left the country. All in all, 250,000 emigrated in the period 1879 to 1893, equal to 60% of the birth surplus. Only Ireland had higher emigration rates than Norway between 1836 and 1930, when 860,000 Norwegians left the country. Norway's extended economic slump can be attributed to the country's reliance on the global economy, particularly the United Kingdom, which grew at a slower rate than the other major economies. As a result of the global downturn, Norwegian exports decreased in certain years while increasing in others. The implementation of the worldwide gold standard was a second reason for the slowdown in Norway. Norway accepted gold in January 1874. And due to a trade imbalance, a lack of gold, and a lack of capital, the country's gold reserves and money stock plummeted. But now you see, Norway's national capital is roughly $541 billion and GDP per capita ranks at 6th position, where the economic aid is $4 billion per donor. According to the International Monetary Fund, many industrialized economies' growth has slowed, while Norway's economy continues to grow rapidly. Exporters benefit from the cheaper krone. Low unemployment boosts wages, and oil prices continue considerably above break-even, stimulating investment. Norway's prognosis remains strong, despite global trade tensions and uncertainty over European development. And moreover, according to me, if Norway continues to take forward its economy like this, then sooner or later, Norway is bound to be the richest and the most expensive country in the whole world with the most glorious economy. And that brings us to the end of another video. Don't forget to let us know in the comment section what are your views regarding a nation whose economy is based totally on energy, both renewable like hydro and non-renewable sources like petroleum. And if you find the video informative, then don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to never miss any update. This was it for today. See you soon in the next one. Until then, peace out.